This is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And this is Hogwarts Legacy. Hey there friends, how's it going? My name is Fire Tornado, and today we're talking about just that, the Fire Tornado, because of the simple fact that it is a fire tornado, and it is in the game. How cool is that? But I'm shocked no one is talking about this because there are other insane details aside from Fire Tornado that show how advanced the combat is in Hogwarts Legacy, which is the reason why the combat is so satisfying. But what do I mean by that? Let me step back for a second. Harry Potter films were always known for spectacular duel scenes and epic battles, right? Like the ones between Dumbledore's army and the Death Eaters, or Dumbledore v. Voldemort's famous duel in the Ministry. And we loved those scenes because they felt, like a roller coaster. They were exhilarating, there was so much action, just the visualizations of the spells, and it felt a lot of fun. It looked fun, and we always wanted kind of to take the wand ourselves and cast those badass spells. And that's exactly how this combat made me feel. And it is like that because of these two guys. Well, and a bunch of others who I didn't get a chance to meet during my trip to Avalanche Software. These people put an insane amount of details and developed advanced mechanics to make this combat fun. So, let me show you just a few of those details that I noticed during my first hands-on preview. Okay, well, the first one, of course, Fire Tornado. Of course. Let me say this. It looks so good. I want it in my mouth. I want to put it on the cookie and eat it. That's how good it looks. You know, like that SpongeBob gif where he licks the stuff? That's how I feel about the Fire Tornado. This is either an upgraded Incendio or most likely Fiendfire spell that is cast by one of these enemies. Not the boss, the minions. Basically, a random poacher, ranger guy, could cast this. And the tornado has an aerial effect, something that can be seen in other games as well. Only here it is also supervised with these fantastic visuals compared to the firestorm cast by Dumbledore in the cave scene. And because it is cast by a more or less irregular enemy who has a similar arsenal of spells as we do, I think we can cast this too at some point. Or maybe a spell that is similar to that, maybe some kind of a water spell as powerful as this one, and then for air and earth, that could work. But this video is not about speculating about spells that we can cast, because there is more to this tornado aside from being a fire tornado. It causes massive damage to both us and our enemy. See, I didn't kill the boss. The tornado did, cast by his own minions. He literally stepped into it while backing away from me, caught on fire, and in the next second he's dead. He's gone. And the second time I encountered a fire tornado, I Accio-ed a ranger and then pushed him into the fire. Now notice on the top of the screen here where his life bar is, as I pushed him into the tornado, boom, the guy is officially toast. He's gone. And in both of these instances, there are different animations showing both of these enemies catching on fire and dying in their own unique way. Still from the same fire tornado. So that is the amount of detail I'm talking about, but also the fact that now you can strategize like, I can take advantage of this tornado and try to then use it against the enemies. Now, of course, this is a powerful spell and I will be making a t-shirt with Fire Tornado on it. But there's more than just spells that are fascinating in this game. We do know about the barrels and boxes and rocks that we can smash on the enemies by tapping R2 whenever there is a chance, but I'm not talking about them. So look closely at this moment. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking like, okay, cool, it looks good, but what do you mean? Okay, so let's slow things down. Here, I'm about to cast an upgraded version of the Pulso spell. Normally, this spell pushes the enemy far back without any other effect, but here, we also have a shockwave. So here I have a goblin floating in midair from Arresto Memento spell cast by Poppy moments earlier. There's a group of poachers and a couple of barrels standing here. When I cast the spell, I target this highlighted guy, but the shockwave from the spell kicks away the goblin. The actual spell does hit the highlighted guy, but then the same shockwave also kicks off the barrels into the air, which then hit the guy. explode while dealing damage, and send that guy flying across the arena. My spell didn't damage the guy. The barrel did. This is insane. This is an inanimate object that can deal damage. Kind of coincidentally, randomly, you know? This is incredible. We also can now take advantage of our environment and use that against our enemies. But there's more. Here I cast one of the ancient magic spell that smashes the goblin on the floor. Now look closer here. These bottles are wobbling every time the goblin hits the ground. These smashes cause an actual vibration which affect nearby objects. This is incredible. And the thing is, think about it for a second. This is a non-mandatory quest. And the developers still put it. The developers spend hundreds of hours to develop an animation that not that many people are gonna see. I mean, I saw it only when replaying the footage. But it's there. And my question is, if the developers were willing to put that much detail into a side quest that many people are not gonna notice, what else? What other details have they put in the game? That is my question. This is absolutely fascinating, you know? And to those who have animated these bottles, these pots who are wobbling, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your work. I notice your wobbling pots. This is incredible. Now, in this moment, after I blasted the poacher into the cliffside, who then exploded into pieces, I then focus on this top hat guy. As I spammed him with some basic spells, he felt a bit intimidated, and he simply apparated. In the moment of playing, I actually thought I killed him, so I kind of went on with my day. But no, he came back. And then I came back and pushed him off the cliff, sending him plunging down to his death. But this is a very interesting tactic of an enemy who chose to evade for a brief period. And because his life bar disappeared for the time of his absence, my targeting went away. So if I were to cast a Confringo or some other spell or even Ancient Magic, that's it. That spell is wasted, and then I would have to wait for a cooldown. This is something interesting that, you know, the enemy chooses different tactics of what to do in different scenarios. Of course, they should be there, but the thing is, you don't think about those mechanics when you're playing. You're just having a lot of fun. You're dealing with smart enemies that are, you know, taking different approaches, doing different jobs. This is amazing. And another layer of detail that makes this combat so satisfying is the sound, which is so crisp and dominant. It serves as a great payoff when casting basically any of the spells, and paired with these amazing visuals of the spell. Each spell is visualized differently. They all have different flair to them, different flavor, and depending on where you are and from which position you cast it, they behave differently. It's not the same all the time, which turns into so much fun when you're actually playing the game. You're being thrown across the arena and you have spells swooshing by, objects explode in front of you, and then the fire tornado comes in and just this whole battle turns into a furnace. And of course, I have to give props to those who choreographed those wand movements, because every time the avatar casts the spells, then there's a little flick of the wand, flick of the wrist, and it just adds some flavor to that movement. It's really, really beautiful. It has sass. The movement, the wand casting is sassy in this game. It really is. But of course, I'm pretty sure you want to see that for yourself. So here is a short segment of just pure combat. See you there.